Hello, everyone. Welcome to Link to Expert Goodreads. This is really connecting the experts and the authors all at one place. We are here on newsstreamingnetwork.com, home of Going Solo and Going Bold Media, and our wonderful radio station, WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network Radio. I am so very pleased to be here with you today. Today we're going to talk about I am Cece Shatz. Those of you that don't know me, I am Cece Shatz. I am fondly called the Joanne of relationship building, and I am also the president of the Going Solo Network and the founder of the newsstreamingnetwork.com. And I am the author of the book we're going to be talking about today, so I'm so excited about it. But anyhow, I have my good friend Joanne Weiland with me. Joanne, we've been friends for so long, and I'm so very pleased to be able to be on the show here with you. You are the founder of LinktoEXPERT.com, and tell us a little bit about LinktoEXPERT.com and you yourself.
Well, first of all, I'm so proud of Cece getting her book out. That is so cool. And that really leads right into why we created Link to Expert. And I say we because I feel like, it was me and God got these ideas together. And long story short, because a lot of people are brilliant and are experts, but if nobody knows they're experts, so we're here to distribute your content to the people that can actually hire you, for working with consultants, coaches, team builders, trainers, facilitators, authors, all kinds of people, but connecting them with people that want to hire them. And maybe sometimes they're also an entrepreneur or an executive. And because just because you're an expert at something doesn't mean you're an expert at everything, but we all need each other. And that's really what it's all about. That's why many, many years ago, when everybody was a solo entrepreneur, whether it was a farmer or a shoemaker or, blacksmith, they all had their areas of expertise, but they all, helped each other and hired each other to do different things. And the difference was back then, usually they did everything local, and it was easy to be able to work with each other. Now, since we're all global, it's not as easy to be exposed to that many people. So we also have to do an extra step to let people know who we are, what we can do, and how we can help them, and even how they can help us, because experts don't know everything except for their areas of expertise.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, collaborating. That's why we created the collaborative cloud community named Link to Expert, and that's LINK2TO Expert, EXPERT.com. And so I'm just really thrilled because of the fact that together we can do so much more.
Yeah, I love it. I'm on the site, Link to Expert, so you'll see me there, LinktoEXPERT.com, and it's helped my business, the new streaming network and the Going Solo network, and yeah, I've connected with wonderful people there who have been extremely helpful and inspirational, and yeah, I think definitely. Now, Joanne, you've written a couple books yourself, haven't you? So I want to make sure that you get kudos to you for all that you do.
Well, I have to admit, yes, they're three international bestsellers, but they're all anthology books, collaborative books.
Mhm.
And I did that on purpose because if I'm supposed to be the collaboration expert, I better collaborate with other people on things like writing books. So we worked with one of our publishers, which is also one of our members, Kathy Davis at Davis Publishing, and she made it so easy. So depending on what you want to do, like Cece creating her own solo book or a collaborative now I'm seeing that a collaborative book, it's also easy because of the fact that you have multiple people. Sometimes we had 10, sometimes we had 20, depending on the books, or any number. It's no particular number of people out there, not just writing their chapter, but also promoting it. So it's much easier to get an international best-selling
Yeah.
status, but it also helps all those, people help each other to get their book in front of people. So it's just, thank you for recognizing that. And I am grateful for it because it was really quite the experience. So, yes, whether you're doing it in a hurry, like one time, the first book I ever did, they called me and I was taking care of my mom and dad because they both just got over COVID. My dad was even on an ventilator. Anyway, and they're like, "Can you write a chapter in 2 days?" Somebody just backed out. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. I was in a different state, South Carolina, taking care of them. Anyway, but I did it. And so sometimes it's better when you're under the gun to have to get it done, because I have many people that I know that have been telling me they're writing a book, but it's been years and they're still writing it. So that's why I think Cece today should be celebrated, because she was a little worried that she wrote it kind of too fast. But I think sometimes when it's, comes through
Right, it's
you.
just you get the download, right? And you're
Yeah, when you get the download, just go with it. Don't feel bad that it came fast, because, sometimes it'll come fast, sometimes it'll come slow, but, go with it. So I
yeah.
am so proud of you. I mean,
Oh, thank you.
on the mic, I mean,
Years ago, I was also in a collaborative book with Mari Mitchell. So shout out
oh,
to
that's
Mari.
great.
She's a wonderful lady. And she had given me the opportunity to write in a book. And I was stressing. Weeks went by, months went by. Then she's saying, Cece, I need your chapter by, like tomorrow. And so I just said, I went to, like I always do when I have a lot of on my chest, a lot of problems or whatever. I pray, I go to bed and I just pray that God will help me through it. And I got up in the morning really early. I wrote it in like 30 minutes and gave it over to Mari. I said, make any changes you want to make, but this is the best I can do. And she came back and said, I love it. Absolutely. She changed just a little couple grammar things and she went with it. And so I kind of did the same thing with this. For years, I've been thinking, I've been doing this broadcasting business for so long, and people have asked me, what they can do and how they can do it. And I've really helped and guide them as doing it. And I kept thinking, I should write a book. I should write a book. And I just decided, I don't know, it came to me to write this book. And then I have 6 other books that's going to join this book. So it's a short read. It's like 30 some pages. It's kind of like they call it like an ebook. It's easy to read. It's like, it has no glitz or glam to it, because I didn't even think to put table of contents in it. That's how crazy I am. I just wrote the book. I paginated it, and I just thought, you know what? I gave it to somebody to read to make sure that it made sense. And then I just put it up there. And so here's the name of the book. So the book is called Own Your Mic, Step into the Spotlight, Launch the Show of Your Dreams. And then there's going to be sequels to this, like other new episodes to this. There's going to be, my next one is going to be Amplify Your Voice. And then there's going to be tips and things like that, and to do that. So if you are into, possibly the podcasting world or the video world, or wanting to launch your show, you're thinking about how to do it or whatever, this is really like, it's just starting like to be a go-to guide. And this is it. I'm really proud of the cover. I will tell you, I
That's
designed the cover
beautiful.
myself. And so I really do like the cover. So I hope you guys like it too.
Oh, I do too. That's why I wore all these colors, because I wanted to accent what you did with the cover, because I really do think it grabs you. And I feel like everybody should grab a copy, whether they're been doing it for years like CC, because you can always learn from each other, or if you just want to get busy doing your own show, because really,
It says,
truly, it's
power,
easy.
power for the bold.
I love it.
So yeah, but no, and then I'm going to try to create like on the other books that are going to come, there's going to be like a workbook and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a little bit more helpful, helpful to you. But yeah, so I mean, there's no glitz and glam to it. It's just straight out, little chapters on things and things that will help you do it. And it's pretty easy. It's thin. You can stick it in your bookcase. So but yeah.
But but
So.
the difference is, it's really from your experience, and to me, you got what step by step of how you do different things, because it really does require different things you do to make the show real, a reality.
Right. And you know what? I learned over the years, if I had had a book like this at the beginning, I would not have been beating myself up like I did, trying to figure out how do you go about doing this. I mean, I started with just being a guest on someone's show, to developing my own show, then to developing a couple other shows, and then helping other people market their shows. And I learned different things that we need to do that's important to it. I've also seen shows that have made it and shows that have that haven't. I've seen people that have come on that started to do shows, but really didn't think it through on how much work it is, because doing a show is work. People don't realize all the different elements that are in place. And then, of course, with us, the new streaming network, we try to alleviate all of those steps for you, because we try to do a lot of those various different steps for you, because most of the people that do shows, like you, Joanne, have a job. They have a business of their own. And so they don't have time to spend on doing all of these various different things. But it does give you the tips from the very beginning, how to start creating your brand, what different steps that you can do. And really I started out with what I thought was the most important thing, which was understanding your boldness, understanding from within. Why are you wanting to do something? Like, why do you feel you have something to share with the world,
Mm-hmm.
and try to embrace that, because I think that sometimes we don't feel, we have an idea, right, and we think we can do something, but we don't realize that we truly can do it. We can do whatever it is that we want to do. And so really embracing your boldness, stepping forward in life and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this, and I don't care what people say, right? That's what I've been doing for years. So yeah. So yeah.
No, but it's so true, because if you don't step into your boldness, like you're calling it, you're
Hmm.
not going to do it. You're going to doubt yourself. I actually heard already the average podcaster doesn't do more than 10 episodes. And that's the majority of them. And a lot of times it's because they also give up too quickly. Their boldness isn't bold enough, if you will, to know that it just takes time. Because don't forget, there's so many other shows out there. What are you doing to differentiate yourself? But look deeper within what is different about you, and
Hmm.
go with your authentic, easy for me to say, expertise, authentic self. Because if you're trying to be somebody you're not,
Hmm.
I don't really feel like you're going to resonate with people. They can tell if you're doing something that you're really not thrilled about, because I always feel like do what you love and love what you do. And as
Right.
you love what you do and express it to others, they can tell that you really do and that you really care. So I think that's a really, really big part of this. And I know you stress that in the book, that, we really have to do what's in our hearts.
Hmm. Right. And the thing is I think people that do, a lot of these podcasts and a lot of these shows, various shows, they really are guided to do it, right?
Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
we're often guided in our lives to do different things. And so we don't understand why we do stuff. Why are we, an expert in a particular field versus just something else different? We don't really understand it. We don't really, we can't explain the feeling that we have, that we do need to do certain things. So I think a lot of those out there that are thinking about doing a podcast or doing a video, they call it a video cast, all of these different things. So just so that you know, a lot of people don't understand the difference. Okay, I'm going to explain it to you real quick. A podcast is audio, strictly audio. You don't see anybody. All you do is just hear, right? A video cast, or we call it internet TV, is the video part. So what we do here on New Streaming is we do a live. This is a live broadcast. We do a live broadcast, and then we drop it down into the audio, creating a podcast, insert any commercials or whatever like that. And then we distribute it to the podcast industry, all of the different platforms. And we're on we're like on everything that's out there. And if we're not on your platform, contact me and we'll be on your platform, because we want to be on everybody's platform. And then we also put it up on our radio station. But we're distributing now to a lot of TV stations. And what's happening in the new wave of things is streaming. And what that means is that you can take a show and it can be streamed across a bunch of different networks. Like we're streamed across several different TV stations at one time. And so that is the difference of that, the streaming. That is hard to get any kind of analytics on that, which is difficult. I mean, I was just talking to one of our show hosts this week, and, like, oh, we would love to get the numbers. I would love the numbers more than they would, I think. But it's hard to get the numbers. You just have to trust that your information is getting, at least on our network, it's getting out there to everybody, that that can possibly listen to it. So that's the most important thing. So yeah.
And also, I think the other part, it just totally agree with you. And then also, don't forget, once you do all that, you really need to let people know you did it in different ways too.
Right.
Not just have it out there, yes, but maybe then write press releases about that you were just on
Mhm.
somebody's show or that you have your own show. And this is what we talked about this week. Cece and I are great about getting out press releases about either when we're on somebody's show or when they're on our show. And then
Mhm.
we also take that and we put that over the business wire because a lot of people will read it if they see it on the business wire because they feel like, that's really the gospel truth. And that's fine. So we just want to hit those people too. Then we even convert it to a blog and distribute it to all of our people via a blog as well, because some people will read it if it's blog versus they think, press releases aren't as valuable as their blog. And then we even ask people that are on our show, for an example, to put out a testimonial about what they experienced on our show. And we also put out testimonials about them being on our show. And we distribute that all different kinds of ways as well on our websites, on our Link to Expert, on different things like LinkedIn. So, and we ask them to do it on Google Business because we really want people to see the testimonials about the shows too. So there's so many ways that you can tell people about your show without with, in addition is what I really mean to the way that you're putting out the show, which is great. But I always feel like you have to tell them what you're going to tell them. You have to
Mhm.
tell them what you're telling them, and then you have to tell them what you told them. And that sounds silly, but you have to keep it going because those things that we just talked about, literally, that they can actually go on for months. That you have like a marketing campaign for months. Because Cece, the way she spaces it out, too, you're on all those 59 plus networks consistently and keeps going, and that's priceless. But you spend that hour of your time and keep the marketing going with different things as well as on all these networks. I don't know how you could really do more than that. We keep looking. So if you guys have ideas, we love suggestions.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think we have to understand is that, people learn in different ways, right? They're visual, they learn
Mhm.
visual, they're audio, they learn audio, and then they also read, right? They do read things. And so they have to comprehend like by word. So it is important to do some of those things. And so you can incorporate those things within your show. Like you were saying, you can do, I have some shows that do those things. I have some shows that don't do those things, right?
Mhm.
Because all of this costs money because it takes time. And so you do have to pay for that. I mean, one of the big things that's out now is shorts. We want to start
Mhm.
creating shorts
Oh,
for
yes,
people.
I've met.
We have the
Mhm.
capability of doing that, creating shorts. But again, it's time and we can't, I'm trying to incorporate like a package so that I can incorporate a lot of these things for them so that they can have all of these things done. But it's a whole new world. I mean, like when I started like a long time ago, with regards to um, doing the business. But this particular book will take you from, really starting to create your brand to, really where you are. And then the other books that I'm going to have will progress and keep moving you forward in it. So you can purchase them on Amazon, Amazon.com, and you can get the book if you'd like. But it was exciting writing it. I mean, I just felt like I've been thinking about it and thinking about that I need to do this. And then finally I just said to myself, you know what? I'm going to lock myself away for a couple days. And I was kind of going through some changes in life. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to focus on something positive in my life. And so I'm going to lock myself away for a few days and I'm going to write this book. And so that's what I did. And I did. And when I got it done, like I said, I gave it over to a friend for them to read. Came back saying, good enough, good to go. And so I just self-published it and I didn't think about doing any of the other stuff that you normally put on books. So whatever. It's just like me. It's like, here's the thing. If you decide you want to do something, don't wait around. Get it done. Just do it. Get it done. And so that's kind of what I did. And yeah, so maybe the other books will look a little bit better, but hey.
Yeah, but it's the content. Cece,
Mhm.
I remember when you told me I'm going to write a book, and 2 days later, she's like, I got the book done. You want a copy? And I'm like, yes. So, I mean, seriously, I think that's the other thing, whether, it's not always how, that you can make it even better. And don't forget, you can always change it. That's the other thing. But really, it's the content. And with you teaching them about branding themselves, people don't realize that, but that is huge because, again, if you don't have a brand, you really aren't going to be followed, probably.
Right, right. Well, and the thing is, the branding is you, right? I know that when I started creating my branding, I mean, I can tell you the story. The very first story was like, I decided I wanted to do orange, the color orange. I'm a friend of mine, good friend of mine, kind of researched it and said, yeah, orange is the color. That's a really great color, blah, blah, blah. And then I had a web designer try to help me do the web, and she didn't want to do it because she didn't like the color orange. And it's like, what? I want the color orange. So so the Going Solo Network, you'll find that that's really under orange. Then when I started putting together starting putting together both the Going Solo media and the Going Bold media, I made the bold purple, because I thought bold being purple,
Yeah.
and let's kind of do that. And I want to shout out to Bella, because Bella helped design the new streaming network logo. She helped do the logo with that, with the different colors, and she even helped me with the name. We came up with the new streaming network, and she was wonderful. So Bella, I love you. You're a wonderful person, and she's very creative. And so she did the show. She's also a psychic, so if anybody wants a reading, she's wonderful. But she helped me with that, and we went with it, and because I like color, although I wear black all the time. I know I wear black all the time, but if you ever see my space, you'll see color, because I do like color. Bless my daughter's heart. She also paints every room of her is different. It's all like a beachy, so it's all bright beachy colors. So yeah, so my daughter must have gotten that from me. So anyhow, but so you want to create your brand, right? You want to create your brand of who you are and what you are, and make it as vibrant as you are, right? I know that Elena, who does Your Health Vibes, hers is pink, bright pink. That is so her. I mean, she is. It is. I helped her come up with her logo and all of that stuff. And when she decided she wanted to do the show, and it's so her, absolutely her. And then you and I came up. We've got our little picture that we did, right? We've got the picture, it's so much fun. I think I have it too here. Yeah. So we have our picture there. So it's just a lot of fun, so you want to create your brand. Your brand's important to you. And so you want to create something that you definitely want. We're going to have to take a break, Joanne. So do you want to say anything real quick before we take a break? Because I know I'm rattling.
No, go ahead, because I'll say more afterwards.
Okay. All right, guys. You guys are listening to the Link to Expert Goodreads. We're talking about the book today, Own Your Mic, Step into the Spotlight, Launch the Show of Your Dreams. I am the author, Cece Shatz, and I want to thank you guys so much for listening to the show here today. It warms my heart. I have my good friend here, Joanne Weiland, with me. She's my co-host here on the Link to Expert. You're listening to the newstreamingnetwork.com, home of the Going Bold media and the Going Solo media, and our WGSN-DB Going Solo Network radio station. So I want to thank you guys for being with us here today. Hang tight, because we're going to talk a little bit more about launching, the show of your dreams and you stepping into the spotlight. So we'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. You're listening to Link to Expert Goodreads. I am one of your hosts, Cece Shatz. I have my good friend Joanne Weiland here with me. You're listening on the newsstreamingnetwork.com, which is home of the Going Solo Media and the Going Bold Media, and our wonderful radio station, WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. The book we're covering today is called Own Your Mic, Step into the Spotlight, Launch the Show of Your Dreams. I am actually the author of this, Cece Shatz, the author of this book, and we're talking about it today. So it's just a quick read, 30 pages. It's pretty simple, and yeah, I'm just really proud of writing the book.
Well, that's why we have this show, the Link Text for Goodreads Authors Corner, because we want to spotlight authors. Because I know in my life, I have read over 1,000 books, just as an example, and I didn't always keep track of which books I read. But once I started, I know it's over 1,000 because I learned so much from authors. Just think about it. I mean, it's really their expertise usually that they're sharing. I'm talking about more self-help books. That's more my style, but I've been reading novels too, so diversifying. But the point is, if I can learn from somebody from their book, reading their book, versus like what they usually took a lifetime or at least 5, 10 years to learn about that subject, educated themselves, paid to educate themselves, worked through all that experience to get that expertise. Isn't it worth it to buy their book and read it? I mean, or download it or listen to it, or, I don't know. I just feel like it's priceless because of the fact that I got to learn from them. And a lot of times they also share other people's stuff because it's not usually only about them. But it's just amazing to me how we might think books are, a book of, I mean, of the past. But I personally still probably finish one a week. And I love it because I feel like the more I know, the more I know I don't know, the more I want to know. And
Right.
so that's how I learned. So that's why I was so excited when you came out with this book, because I know I learn from you all the time. And now we have a resource that other people can learn from you, as well as all these new ones that are going to be coming out. But I really, really feel like what you said before the break about branding and the colors is interesting because I think a lot of people don't realize that. I know with me, when I started Link to Expert, I went to the library and I couldn't believe it. They had a whole section on colors, what colors mean, what color makes people feel, what color, is appropriate for different situations. And so when Cece said that about the colors, it really does make a difference, even your color for your brand, you know? So I really feel like there's so many more parts of it that she'll share in the book, but we just started by talking about, picking the right colors. And I know with me, I mean, I picked blue and green for Link to Expert, and it was just because of that research I did. But so I do encourage you to put thought into the color as well.
Yeah, there's a section in here that I talk about balancing entertainment and information. And so, we talk about that a lot on our particular network because what we try to do is a more conversational type
Yes.
of show. And so, which means we just have a conversation, right? It's not an info commercial. We share a lot about individuals' journeys, their stories of their lives, as they're moving forward, some of their experiences, things that they've done. When you're looking at something they call entertainment, it could be a lot of flash, a lot of things that aren't real. It could be, just something that's going to kind of get your attention right off the bat. So I
Mm.
would ask you, if you're looking at developing a show for yourself, what are you trying to develop, right? What are you trying to do? And sometimes it takes a little longer when you're doing a podcast or you're doing a video cast or TV, and you're talking more about journeys and learning life and exposing yourself that way. It takes the listener through that journey, and they do that connection with you, right? But that connection has to build over time. So you have to give yourself time. So I often tell someone, if they're starting to do they need to do it for, anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. If you could give 6 months and see how that journey goes with you. If you're just in it for excitement and the flash of everything, and you want, some sort of, like, you'll see all the time, you'll see these videos where you're going like, what the heck? What are they, what are they doing? The thing is, you're not going to tune back to them unless you just want that kind of show. If you're looking, to build something where people are growing with you, learning with you, and experiencing with you, it takes a little bit longer for that to develop, right? But the reality is that's going to last longer. And that's what people don't understand, is that you might have a lot of fun with the excitement part of it, and it might be a lot of fun to watch it, and you might tune in on a regular basis and stuff. But the thing is, that's not going to last forever. That's just going to be, it's going to be as a flash as it is. And so you want to think about that as you're developing your show. What you're giving back to the listeners, are they really learning something from you? Are they really growing from you? And so often we think to ourselves, because we want to monetize, right? Because these shows are not cheap. It's not cheap to do them. We're spending a lot of time, energy into doing them. And so we're thinking, oh, we're not really monetizing maybe the way, we had hoped that we would, because people think they're going to get rich quick doing a podcast. That's, the reality is very slim with doing that. But you can make some money doing it if you stay with it and you keep building and building your audience and spreading your audience. And so we can give you some tips on doing that. One is, have guests on your show, right? And because you capture their audience, and that makes it a lot more interesting, sometimes intriguing. You learned a little bit more from it, but you also capture their audience, and their audience listens to you and they think, wow, I really like that person. I really like what they have to say. And because I don't agree with everything that's on the shows. I mean, sometimes I'll say I beg to differ. I don't, whatever. And so, yeah, and they want somebody that's authentic. So yeah, yeah, you want to do that. So you capture their audience.
Well,
So,
it's so true because of the fact that, whether you're on somebody's show or they're on your show, I think you should both be promoting it because it really is about not just being on the show, but then getting the word out. But it also helps you look larger than life when you get seen so many different ways. So I really encourage you to try different things to expose it on, again, your site, your wherever you're doing it, maybe a newsletter or whatever, but also social media sites, as well as encouraging others to do it with you, creating testimonials
mhm.
for each other about being on their show or you being on their show or they being on your show. I mean, there's just so many ways that really only take a few minutes and then just distributing it, whether you have a CRM that can help you do that. Cece and I just started a new CRM
Mhm.
because we want to do more of the funnels and more of the promotion and make it easy to automate. So we just started with top tier CRM. If anybody's interested, we would love to talk to you about it. We have a special offer just for our people, and it's 80% off. And so it's just another way to make it easy to upload something and it'll distribute to the masses in your database. So we're just always looking for different ways, not just to help you monetize it, but to make it streamlined and easy. Because, like Cece said, it does take time, it does take money. So if we can make it so much easier and faster, why not?
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, I know that there's a lot of things that we do here on the new streaming network. So, like one of the new things, like we said, we're, starting to incorporate shorts, where the press
Yes.
releases, the blogs,
Test-
really trying to get the marketing out there so people know that the shows are there, out there and available. Then also just the production of the show itself. We try to make sure we have it all set up for you so that everything is done and it goes very smoothly. Artwork, believe it or not, every every platform it goes out to, it seems like we have a different size of artwork, so all the artwork has to be changed. So we're probably looking at, what, I don't know, is it 10 different sizes or something like that?
right.
All these different sizes that you have to do. Then you've got show notes and all of these kind of things. And
Hashtags.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
thumbnails. I mean, they're really, I mean, I'm so blessed because Cece does the producing part behind the scenes for all of our networks that we get on. And I'm so grateful because to me, it makes my head spin just thinking about trying to get it on 60 some different networks. But
Hmm.
she's been doing this for so long and she has streamlined the process too. And, so there's really many more parts to it. So if you can work with somebody like Cece, trust me, to me anyway, being the person that's more like the people person that wants to go out there and find guests to be on our show, we talk about different topics that we can talk about. And she does the production behind it. I mean, again, you'd
So,
be crazy not to.
that just made me think about, when I was talking to someone, one of our hosts, right, about the shows and things like that. And, we were talking about monetizing, right? We all want to monetize, let's face it, we all want to do it. But when you've got a network that's out there in all these various different places, right? Most people, when they do their podcast or whatever, they're in just one platform. They're maybe in a couple different platforms, but they're not in over 60. I mean, we are over 60 and we're picking up streams all the time to be able to do it. And those of you listening, we love you. We want you to know we love you and you are what it's all about. But here's the thing is that when you've got a magnitude of places that you're actually being exposed to, which years ago I didn't. I just had one, right? So if you've got a magnitude of places that you're being distributed to, there is no reason that you cannot monetize your show. You should be able to monetize by advertisements, sponsorships. You should be able to, guest appearances. There's a shout outs. There's a lot of different things that you can do. Like for instance, when I shouted out to Mari, which is not a paid one, but I love Mari Mitchell, and I shouted out to her and Danette and Bella. You know what I mean? It's like you can do things like that, and you can make a little bit of money doing that. So you can reimburse at least your expenses on doing your show, and if and then some. So if you are with the right person, if you're with the right group to be able to help you do that and help you monetize that, and that's what we want to try to do. So here on the new streaming network. So anyhow, this book, I wrote it because I wanted the new beginners, the new people out there, I wanted to give them something to be able to go with. So again, the book is Own the Mic, Step into the Spotlight, Launch the Show of Your Dreams. And then after this book, it's going to be Amplify Your Voice. I've got 6 titles altogether. That's going to be in a particular series, and there's going to be a workbook with it. It's like 30 some pages, easy to read, and it's going to be the best $15 you spend. So don't go to McDonald's, buy the book, right? And change.
Right.
That's what I suggest to you. If you want to make something happen, I remember years ago when I didn't know what I was going to do after my divorce. I had no idea what I was going to do. And doors kept opening for me constantly. Wonderful friends kept stepping forward, showing me the way, how to do it. I've learned those things and I try to put them here in the book for you. So definitely be able to, grab it and go with it. And then if you have any other questions, you can ask, Joanne and I, we're happy to help you.
Yes, and really, it's priceless to have that step-by-step instructions to me because otherwise you don't even know where to start
Right.
if you don't have that. And so,
Yeah.
and
I certainly didn't. Right.
it's priceless, seriously, because I know when I started, Cece, before Cece even asked me, people used to always ask me, do you want to have your own radio show? Do you want to have your own TV show? Do you want to have your own podcast? And I'm like, I knew because I took many classes of how to do it. And the parts that Cece does behind the scenes, oh my God, it made my head hurt because that's just not my area of expertise to do all those details. So once you learn all those details and you can, learn from how to either do it yourself or hire somebody like Cece to do it, you decide. Because to me, that's the reason that I did go with Cece to be co-hosts on 2 different shows, the Link to Expert Business Showcase and the Link to Expert Goodreads Authors Corner, because she does the parts that I'm not good at or don't want to do, and I get to do the parts I love. So it's another thing to think about when, as you're reading it, is this all the stuff I want to do? It really does take a lot of time. It would take you a long time to get on 60 different networks because a lot of times you also even have to be invited to be
Mhm.
on those networks. It's not like you can just apply for all of them and they just say, "Oh yeah, come on, be put your show on our network. So there's so many things that take time that are already done for you if you do want to work with Cece. And I'm grateful every day that that's the route I went. And, no, I'm not just saying it because we're on the show. I mean, I would never, that's why I think the average person only does 10 episodes. They realize really how much, not just time and money it takes, but you have to consistently and frequently do it too to be accepted as the
Yeah.
expert.
Well, and
So,
it's like a lot of our shows, they've been on for years. Like we've got, Her Sherman, he's been on 4 or 5 years. We've got the Going Solo veterans, Paul Holbert, he's been on for like I think 4 or 5 years. I mean, we've got shows that have been on for a long, long time, and they're like Reefs Around America. I mean, what a wonderful organization. They're actually going to be working, collaborating with Paul, and we're just so proud to be able to have them, helping the veterans and stuff. So, I mean, it's just like the doors have opened, things have just continued to happen, and they will for you too. I mean, that's what I want to say is if you are looking at doing a podcast, you're looking at doing some sort of show for you, you don't really know the ins and outs of it, come on to us and we'll try to see what we can do to try to help you, go through. I try to combine. I mean, it's expensive, believe me. I mean, I pay for a lot of the platforms we're on. Some we get for free. Some, we barter or whatever. And so the thing is like, be a part of that. But to just be on one platform, you got to do more. You have to do more than that. So it's just in today's world for sure. We're going to have to go, guys. And I love you so much. So please go out and get my book. I don't usually like to sell stuff, but I really am proud of my book. So Own Your Mic, Step into the Spotlight, Launch the Show of Your Dreams. It's on Amazon. There's no glitz and glam to it. No table of contents. Gets right to the dirty of it. And just, and let me know what you think. And so I hope that you will. Reach out to Joanne if you have any questions at info@linktoexpert.com. That's info@linktoexpert, EXPERT.com. And wonderful. I can't say enough about her site, Link to Expert. I belong to it. I use it. I wonderful experts are in there, very inspirational. They help you. It's really truly a great connection to be able to be in. And then of course I have a new email. If you're going to send me at goingsolonetwork@gmail.com, I'll still get it. But I have a new one called New Streaming Network @gmail.com. Just like the show, just like the station, New NEW Streaming, STREAMING Network, NETWORK @gmail.com. I love Gmail. Everybody says go, the other whatever, but I like Gmail. So that's me. But everyone, I hope that you enjoyed the show here today, the Goodreads Authors Corner. It's a wonderful, wonderful show here with the Link to Expert business showcase, and we just had the business showcase, but then we do the Goodreads, and I hope you watch all of these Link to Experts because these
yeah,
are
the Goodreads
wonderful,
Authors
wonderful
Corner
people.
is
They're absolutely wonderful on it, and they do give of their time and everything. So we want to appreciate everyone. So again, it's the Link to Expert Goodreads Authors Corner. I am Cece Shatz, one of your hosts. This is also my good friend Joanne Weiland. You are listening to New Streaming Network, home of Going Bold Media and Going Solo Media, and our wonderful radio station WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. So thank you, everyone. We got to run.
thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.